Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today, as soon as I double check and make sure I turn my mic on, I'm like 90% sure I did! Sweet! We're going to talk about paradoxes. And we're going to show you some paradoxes, starting with a very light paradox and working our way up in kind of what my favorite look is for paradox. Talk a little bit about where to find them, where you're going to see more of them, if it's genetic or not. And then we're going to slide over to Patreon and get into which paradoxes we kept, why we choose to keep them or not, and does paradox increase monetary value, and why or why not, and how would you capitalize on that if it does. That's what we talk about there on Patreon. So click like, click subscribe. If you're not on Patreon, you might go check it out. Really great Discord. Plus we talk about stuff like that. And also I swear a lot more on there if you're into that sort of thing. Because, I can. It's private. Anyway, let's go into today's video. It's enough shameless self-promotion. So we're going to start today with a pretty new little paradox that I just hatched out this year. Now this little guy here, what this is this is a banana. And I'll be honest, I see more paradox in the light colored morph. So if you really like paradox, what
is a paradox?
I guess I should start with that. Kurt said, what is a paradox? And as I talk about, I'll kind of show you on here. So let me get a little pointer out. My little pointer, I'll use this little red tip pointer. If you look there on the nose and there by the head, do you see that weird dark color that will not wash off, unlike the crap on him? That is not going to rub off, see? That is his skin color. So in that area, one of two things is going on. One, we have what we consider a paradox, which is what I believe this to be, and that is where that gene, just for whatever reason, didn't code. So the banana is not coming through, and you're seeing what would be just a possible head clown there, and the rest of the snake is banana. The other thing you could have is a chimera, or chimera, however you say it, it's chimera. Anyway, and that is basically where you have one baby that absorbed another baby, and this thing would actually have two separate sets of DNA with it, depending on what spot you check. Not as uncommon as you think, actually, in the whole world of animals and humans. There are humans that display that. The only way we could tell that is probably DNA testing. There are instances where you can be 100% assured what you're looking at based on the genetics you see. We showed one of those before in a video a long time ago. I would show it to you again, but it wasn't my animal. So there's also a little bit more paradoxing. He was kind of holding on the litter back here by the tail on this one, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a face. Whoops, my bad. So this one has it on just a face and more on one side of the face than the other. The two places I see the most paradoxing on an animal are definitely the head and the tail. I don't see as much in the middle. I don't know if that's just personal experience or if that's normal. Let me tell you straight up, this is not genetic. At least nobody's proven to be so far. Doesn't mean somebody won't, but it's pretty widely accepted as not being genetic, and I tend to agree with that. There are exceptions in other species. I want to say it may be hognose where there is a genetic paradox, but this isn't a hognose. So it's pretty cool though. I think it's neat. Now I'm not keeping this snake, so kind of explain that down the road. So let me put this one back. Just a nice little non-genetic paradox. Pretty little snake though, but that's pretty light. Nothing too crazy. We'll step it up a notch, show you another one. Get in that little one. There was another one I thought I had over here. No, I lied. It's not. Now I'm going to show you an adult paradox. This one has a little bit less paradoxing on it. Ugh, I've been way over for the snake. Or a little bit more than that, I mean, but I just untied my shoe. But a little bit less than the other ones I'm going to show you. Also, this will be the only snake that's not a banana I'm going to pull out. But bear with me. Like I said, I think you see paradoxing more in the lighter morphs. It may be as present on darker morphs, but if you had some spotting like this on, say, a black pastel that was actually paradox with normal, it could very easily go unnoticed depending on where it was at in the pattern and color, etc. On an albino, on a banana, on something like a lesser, that tends to stick out like a sore thumb, right? You're going to notice that pretty easy. So let's talk about where the paradox is. After I said it's always on the head and tail, this one is one of the exceptions. You can see it's up high. There's two spots there, two spots here, and a spot there. Really cool looking snake overall. What this would be is an albino paradoxed with could be a visual xanthic showing through. This could be actually, if that is visual xanthic, although there's not enough for me to make that call, then you'd have the instance of the absorbed twin, and because those two wouldn't exist otherwise. If you just have albino not coating and some normal showing through, then you would have your paradox type thing going on. Hard to say for sure which one that is. If I had a bigger patch where I could really tell, it'd be one thing, but we don't. Really cool snake, going to be big enough for breeding this coming season. Aren't you, baby girl? Yes, you are. And what we know about her is she is straight up albino with, I believe, a 50% chance of het axanthic, or 66% chance. I would say it's a good odds she is, but we'll put her back. Now, she was a holdback from a few years ago. Get in there, girly. There you are. She's looking really good. She just shed her skin. Let me show you two more, and again, we're going to increase how much paradox we have per snake. Now this one I think is about to go into shed. And it's debatable if it has more than the last one. What we're looking at here is a banana black pastel. On it, you'll see a really nice paradox spot, if I can keep it from balling up, right there on its head, which kind of goes all the way through there. This is just litter on it. These spots are not paradoxing, okay? Even this spot here, which looks like it could be paradoxing, that's just banana black pastel doing what banana black pastel does, which is getting a lot of spots. Now, I did mention head and tail. I know you are not happy about being out today, so we're going to have to get you to look at your tail. That part's not paradoxed, but this part here is right there. You can really see the paradoxing on her tail. So head and tail are the two spots that are paradoxed very commonly, and she is displaying that. Or he, this was actually he. You can see that's obviously just banana not coating. So banana black pastel showing that paradoxing. Come here, little one. Let me show you our newest paradox. And this one, as far as the paradox goes, would be my favorite. Again, it's all random on how much. If you really want to see a really cool snake, look up a snake called Skittles. And that's one crazy snake. It's got probably a little bit of both going on, paradox and the absorbed twin situation, which is really cool. Get rid of all that on there. Nice clean area to work with to show you this. So what are you looking at? Well, you're looking at a banana mahogany. The mahogany is 100% there because we used a summa, and the banana went through, actually got 5 out of 6. This is the only one that came out paradox. You can see its face is about split in half with a whole bunch of mahogany on the head, but not the whole thing on that half. You have this band here and this big band here in the middle, which is really kind of cool. So this is my favorite one because it's just got this nice thick band, and then the head has a whole lot on it. This is also a keeper, so really awesome little snake. It's only had a couple meals at this point, but we wanted to show it off to you anyway. So there you go, guys. That's paradox. Now it's just random. So if you get them, it's your choice if you keep them or not. There's nothing wrong with them. There's, they've proven to be genetically fine most of the time. I would say the one caveat is it a chance that her hoo-hoo in this case, and she's a little girl, is, or her lady parts, let's say, that'd be a more adult way of saying that, is, whoa, what are you doing? Don't run away. You got to stay calm. You need to be on the next video. Whoa, there you go. Yeah, just calm your ass down some. Good, snake. Let's put you in a ball. Come on. Get in the ball. Is only going to be mahogany and not going to have banana. Yeah, I guess you could say that's a risk. I highly doubt it in this case because I just think that I'm seeing, there you go. You didn't do it, did you? I'm just seeing too much of the 2 gene for it to be likely. But you do run that risk keeping one that, she may breed out as only a mahogany, but I highly doubt it. Kurt, any questions about this before we go over to Patreon and talk about the values of these?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. That's all I got. I want to get to Patreon so I can keep the snake out before she runs off the table because she is not too happy about this situation.